Welcome. You can slow down here. There is no need to focus sharply or stay alert. This is a quiet space, meant for listening at an easy pace. Let your body settle before your thoughts do. This story is not meant to rush forward. It moves slowly, the way the ocean does when it is deep and calm. You do not need to remember every detail. You only need to listen in a relaxed way. If your attention drifts, that is natural. If you feel calm, that is enough. We will move gently, learning without effort, and allowing ideas to arrive in their own time. A whale is often described by its size, but size alone does not explain what a whale truly is. To understand a whale, it helps to look at how it lives within the ocean rather than how it appears at the surface. Whales exist in an environment where speed offers little advantage. The ocean is wide and continuous, and movement happens across long distances rather than short moments. Within this space, whales move in a way that conserves energy and reduces strain. Their bodies are shaped for smooth travel, allowing water to flow around them instead of pushing against it. Water supports a whale completely. This support changes how size is experienced. On land, size creates pressure and effort. In water, size creates stability. Larger bodies lose heat more slowly and store energy more efficiently, which is useful in cold and deep environments. A whale's movement reflects this balance. Swimming is steady and measured, guided by slow strokes of the tail rather than quick motion. Nothing about this movement suggests urgency. Each action appears deliberate, as if time itself feels wider underwater. Whales live between two worlds. They belong to the ocean, yet they rely on the air above it. They must return to the surface to breathe, and this need shapes their entire routine. Dives are planned around breathing, and breathing is never rushed. When a whale surfaces, it rises calmly. Air is taken in, the opening is sealed, and the body returns to depth. This rhythm repeats throughout the day and night, creating a steady pattern that guides the whale's life. Light behaves differently in water than it does on land. It fades quickly with depth, becoming softer and less reliable. Because of this, whales rely less on sight and more on sound. Sound travels far through water, carrying information across long distances without effort. Whales use sound to stay oriented and connected. Low-frequency sounds move slowly and steadily, filling space without disturbance. These sounds appear when needed and fade when they are not. Listening becomes more important than reacting. Time is experienced differently in the ocean. Whales do not divide life into busy moments and resting moments. Movement, feeding, and rest all unfold at a similar pace. Days blend into seasons, and seasons blend into years. Memory plays a central role in this way of living. Whales remember feeding grounds, migration paths, and familiar individuals. This memory is built gradually, through repeated experience rather than sudden learning. Young whales learn by following. They stay close to older whales, absorbing information through shared movement. Knowledge passes quietly between generations. Whales live long lives, and this longevity supports calm behavior. Growth takes years, and maturity arrives slowly. There is no pressure to rush development. To be a whale is to exist within balance. Balance between air and water. Balance between movement and rest. Balance between memory and present awareness. Why whales are mammals, not fish? At a distance, whales resemble fish because they share the same environment. They swim through water, surface briefly, and disappear again into depth. Yet this similarity is only on the surface. Beneath it, whales belong to a different biological group, and this difference shapes their entire way of life. Whales are mammals. This means they breathe air, maintain a steady body temperature, and give birth to live young. Each of these traits influences how whales move, rest, and survive in the ocean. Breathing is the clearest distinction. Fish extract oxygen from water using gills. Whales cannot do this. They must return to the surface to breathe air through a single opening called a blowhole. This need creates a calm rhythm. A whale plans its movement around breathing. Dives are long and measured, followed by short, deliberate visits to the surface. Breathing is not automatic or rushed. Each breath is taken consciously, then sealed away as the whale returns to depth. Because whales breathe air, their lungs are designed to collapse safely under pressure. As a whale dives deeper, air is pushed out of the lungs into spaces where it cannot cause harm. This protects the body and conserves oxygen. The process is smooth and quiet, allowing whales to remain underwater without strain. Being mammals also means whales are warm-blooded. The ocean can be cold, especially below the surface, but whales keep their internal temperature stable. This stability is supported by a thick layer of blubber beneath the skin. Blubber serves several purposes at once. It slows heat loss, stores energy, and helps control buoyancy. It also gives the body a smooth shape, reducing resistance as water flows around it. This combination allows whales to remain calm and steady in environments that would otherwise demand constant effort. Another mammalian trait is reproduction. Whales give birth to live calves rather than laying eggs. Birth happens in water, where support is constant and gravity feels gentle. Calves are born tail first, reducing the risk of inhaling water. From the beginning, calves depend entirely on their mothers. They stay close, moving alongside them and learning through observation. Milk provided by the mother is rich and dense, allowing steady growth in a cold environment. This extended care reflects a slow approach to development. Whales also share mammalian anatomy beneath their smooth exterior. Inside the flippers are bones arranged like arms and hands. Though hidden, these structures reveal a shared ancestry with land mammals. The spine of a whale moves up and down rather than side to side. This vertical motion powers swimming and comes directly from mammalian structure. It creates smooth forward movement without rapid acceleration. Sleep further highlights the difference between whales and fish. Fish can rest while basic functions continue automatically. Whales must remain aware enough to breathe. To manage this, whales rest one half of their brain at a time. One side remains alert, while the other rests. This alternating sleep allows calm rest without breaking breathing rhythm. This pattern fits naturally into a slow life. Rest happens gently, often while drifting or moving slowly near the surface. Being mammals also means whales age slowly. They grow over many years and often live for decades. This long lifespan supports memory and learning rather than quick instinctive response. Routes across the ocean, feeding areas, and social connections are remembered rather than programmed. Experience accumulates gradually, shaping behavior over time. Understanding whales as mammals helps explain their calm nature. They are not fish adapted for speed. They are warm-blooded, air-breathing animals that have shaped their lives around water without losing their biological identity. This balance between mammal and ocean resident defines what whales are. The journey of whales into the ocean did not begin with intention. It began with comfort. Long ago, the ancestors of whales lived on land. They were mammals that walked, breathed air, and moved much like other land animals of their time. Water was not their primary home. It was simply part of their environment. Rivers, coastal areas, and shallow seas offered easy movement and steady access to food. Water reduced the effort needed to travel. It supported the body and softened the pull of gravity. Spending time near water required less energy than moving entirely on land. Over many generations, these animals returned to water more often. Not to escape land, but because water made life easier. Small physical changes followed this shift in behavior. Legs that once carried weight became useful for paddling. Feet widened slightly. tails helped with balance while swimming. These changes were slow and subtle. Nothing dramatic happened within a single lifetime. Each generation inherited only small adjustments. As time passed, water became more familiar than land. The body responded gently. Hind limbs shortened and became less important for walking. Front limbs flattened and slowly turned into flippers. The bones inside remained, but their function changed. Walking faded. Swimming became natural. Breathing remained essential. Lungs never disappeared. Instead, they adapted. These early whales learned to control breathing more carefully. They could hold air longer and surface calmly when needed. This allowed longer periods underwater without discomfort. As dives became deeper, the body adjusted further. Heart rates slowed during submersion. Blood flow shifted to protect vital organs. Oxygen was used more efficiently. These changes reduced energy use. Energy conservation became important in the ocean, where food can be spread across large distances. Animals that moved slowly and steadily were more likely to survive. Speed offered little advantage. Calm movement mattered more. The spine also changed. Instead of bending side to side, it began to move up and down. This motion matched mammalian structure and allowed smooth forward movement through water. Sound gradually replaced sight as the primary sense. Light fades quickly underwater, but sound travels far. Hearing became more sensitive, and the shape of the skull adapted to carry sound efficiently. Communication did not require closeness. Low sounds could travel across long distances, keeping individuals connected without constant proximity. As these changes accumulated, land lost its importance. Returning to shore became unnecessary. Birth shifted into the water. Calves were born where support was constant and movement felt natural. From the first moments of life, swimming replaced walking. Despite this transition, whales never stopped being mammals. They kept warm blood. They kept lungs. They kept extended care between mother and young. Their evolution was not a rejection of the past. It was a continuation shaped by environment. Whales did not rush into the ocean. They settled into it gradually. Each change followed comfort rather than force. Each adjustment reduced effort rather than increased it. This long evolutionary journey explains much about whales today. Their calm movement, their controlled breathing, their patience. They are not built for urgency. They are built for distance, depth, and time. The oceans that ancient whales lived in were very different from the oceans we know today. They changed slowly over long periods of time, shaped by shifting continents, changing temperatures, and moving currents. These early oceans were quieter, wider, and less crowded, offering large open spaces where movement could remain calm and uninterrupted. Ancient whales adapted within this environment without urgency. They were not responding to sudden danger or rapid change. Instead, they adjusted gradually as ocean conditions evolved around them. Early oceans often had warmer waters in many regions. This warmth supported a wide spread of marine life, allowing food to exist across large areas. Whales did not need to compete aggressively for resources. They could travel slowly, feeding where conditions were favorable. As climates shifted, oceans cooled in some regions and warmed in others. Nutrients became concentrated in certain areas rather than spread evenly. This change encouraged whales to move between feeding grounds instead of remaining in one place. Migration emerged from this pattern. Whales began traveling long distances, following seasonal changes in water temperature and food availability. These movements were not hurried. They followed predictable paths shaped by memory and experience. Ancient oceans allowed these migrations to form gradually. There were no artificial barriers. Currents flowed freely, and coastlines shifted slowly rather than abruptly. Whales learned to move with these currents rather than against them. Swimming became an act of alignment rather than effort. Energy conservation remained central to survival. Different forms of whales appeared as ancient oceans changed. Some whales remained closer to the surface, feeding where food was abundant. Others adapted to deeper waters, learning to dive further and remain underwater longer. This diversity did not happen all at once. Each variation reflected a specific environment and a specific balance between depth, distance, and food availability. Ancient oceans also shaped whale size. Larger bodies provided advantages in long-distance travel and energy storage. Smaller forms were better suited to coastal regions and shallow waters. Over time, both approaches proved useful in different conditions. Sound continued to play an important role. With fewer interruptions in ancient oceans, low-frequency sounds traveled long distances without interference. Whales could remain connected even when far apart, maintaining social bonds across wide spaces. These connections supported coordination without crowding. Whales did not need to remain close together to function as groups. Space itself reduced conflict. Ancient whales also lived alongside many other large marine animals that no longer exist today. The ocean supported a wide range of life forms, each occupying its own role. Balance emerged naturally, without constant competition. Whales did not dominate these ecosystems. They became part of them. Their behavior reflected this balance. Feeding was deliberate. Movement was smooth. Rest occurred when conditions allowed. The long history of ancient oceans shaped whale behavior deeply. Slow movement, steady breathing, and patience were rewarded traits. Sudden action offered little benefit. As millions of years passed, whales became stable residents of the sea. They were no longer adapting to a new environment. They were shaped by one that favored calm adjustment over rapid change. This ancient relationship between whales and oceans continues today. Modern whales still follow patterns formed long ago, guided by memory and long experience rather than instinct alone. Whales are often spoken about as if they are one single kind of animal. In reality, the word whale includes several different groups, each shaped by slightly different ways of living in the ocean. Understanding these differences helps clarify how whales feed, move, and interact with their environment. At a broad level, whales are divided into two main groups. These groups are defined not by size or location, but by how whales feed. The first group includes whales with teeth. These whales use teeth to catch individual prey such as fish or squid. Their feeding behavior is calm but precise, relying on timing and awareness rather than speed. Toothed whales often hunt using sound. They produce clicks and listen carefully for echoes returning from objects in the water. This allows them to locate prey even in darkness or deep water. The process is controlled and efficient, requiring careful listening rather than rapid movement. Despite having teeth, these whales do not feed aggressively. They capture prey with minimal effort, often swallowing it whole. Energy conservation remains important. The second group of whales feeds in a very different way. These whales do not have teeth. Instead, they use flexible filtering structures inside their mouths to strain small organisms from the water. This method of feeding allows whales to consume large quantities of food without chasing it. They move slowly through dense areas of plankton or small fish, letting water pass through their mouths while food is retained. This feeding style favors patience. Rather than reacting quickly, these whales wait for the right conditions. When food is abundant, they feed steadily and calmly. These two feeding strategies shaped whale bodies differently. Toothed whales tend to have narrower mouths and more streamlined heads. This shape supports controlled movement and precise sound-based navigation. Their bodies are well suited for deeper dives and focused hunting. Filter-feeding whales often have wider mouths and larger heads. These features allow them to take in large volumes of water during feeding. Their size supports long-distance travel and energy storage. Size variation among whales is significant. Some species remain relatively small, suited to coastal or regional movement. Others grow very large, allowing them to travel across entire oceans without frequent feeding. These differences do not reflect superiority. They reflect adaptation. Each whale type occupies a specific role within the ocean environment. Together, they cover a wide range of depths, regions, and feeding zones. Social behavior also varies between types. Some whales form stable family groups that remain together for long periods. Others associate more loosely, coming together mainly during feeding or migration. Communication styles differ as well. Some whales rely heavily on structured sound patterns. Others use quieter, simpler signals. Despite these differences, all whales share core traits. They breathe air. They are warm-blooded. They care for their young over extended periods. Their differences exist within a shared framework of calm living and long-term adaptation. Understanding whale types is not about classification alone. It reveals how flexible life can be within a single group of animals. Each variation reflects a different solution to the same challenge, living efficiently in a vast, moving ocean. This diversity allows whales as a whole to remain resilient. When conditions change, different strategies continue to function. Together, they form a balanced presence across the seas. The differences between whale types become clearer when we look more closely at how they feed and how those feeding styles shape their place in the ocean. Whales with teeth rely on careful detection rather than speed. They move through water quietly, listening more than looking. Sound helps them understand distance, shape, and movement around them. By sending out gentle clicks and waiting for echoes, they build a calm awareness of their surroundings. This approach works well in deep or dark water. Light fades quickly with depth, but sound remains reliable. Toothed whales use this advantage without urgency, allowing information to arrive before action is taken. Once prey is located, movement remains controlled. There is no need for long chases. Prey is often captured quickly and swallowed whole, reducing effort and conserving energy. This feeding style supports long dives and extended time underwater. It allows toothed whales to explore deeper regions where food is scattered and less predictable. Patience becomes more useful than speed. Filter-feeding whales follow a very different path. They do not search for individual prey. Instead, they depend on the presence of many small organisms gathered together. These whales move through dense patches of plankton or small fish, opening their mouths slowly and allowing water to flow in. As water passes out again, food remains behind. This process does not require precision. It requires timing. Filter-feeding whales often travel long distances to reach areas where food gathers seasonally. They wait for the right conditions rather than feeding constantly. When feeding does occur, it happens steadily. Movement is smooth and unhurried. Energy is gathered in large amounts over short periods, then stored for later use. These feeding styles influence where whales spend their time. Toothed whales often explore deeper water and varied regions. Filter-feeding whales tend to follow large-scale patterns tied to ocean productivity. Both approaches fit into the ocean without conflict. They occupy different layers, depths, and roles. This separation reduces competition. Each type uses resources differently, allowing balance to form naturally. Feeding behavior also affects social structure. Some toothed whales hunt cooperatively, using sound to coordinate movement. This cooperation remains calm and organized rather than fast or aggressive. Filter-feeding whales often feed alone or loosely grouped, coming together only when food is abundant. Their feeding does not require close coordination, only shared space. These differences influence communication as well. Whales that rely heavily on sound use more structured signals. Others remain quieter, conserving energy and attention. Despite variation, all feeding styles share a common theme. Efficiency matters more than speed. Calm observation matters more than reaction. This approach supports long lives and steady populations. Whales do not need constant feeding. They adapt to cycles of abundance and scarcity. By spreading feeding strategies across different environments, whales as a group remain flexible. When conditions change in one area, other strategies continue to function elsewhere. This diversity strengthens the presence of whales across the oceans. No single method dominates. Balance remains. Understanding these feeding styles helps explain why whales move the way they do, migrate when they do, and remain calm even in vast spaces. Each behavior reflects a long history of adaptation shaped by water, distance, and time. The shape of a whale's body reflects the environment it lives in. Water surrounds the body from all sides, and movement through it depends on reducing resistance rather than creating force. Because of this, the whale's form is smooth, rounded, and continuous, without sharp edges or sudden angles. From the head to the tail, the body flows in a single direction. This shape allows water to pass around the whale quietly, minimizing drag and conserving energy. Every curve serves a purpose, supporting steady movement across long distances. The head of a whale is large, but it is not heavy in the way land animals experience weight. Water supports the body evenly, allowing the head to remain stable without strain. In many whales, the head contains structures related to feeding and sound, making it an important part of how the animal interacts with its environment. The neck of a whale is short and mostly immobile. Unlike land mammals, whales do not need to turn their heads to look around. The ocean offers fewer visual obstacles, and awareness comes more from sound than sight. A fixed head reduces resistance and supports smooth forward motion. The torso of a whale is thick and rounded. Inside, it holds large lungs, strong muscles, and internal organs arranged to handle pressure changes during diving. The rounded shape distributes pressure evenly, reducing stress as the whale moves between depths. Beneath the skin lies a thick layer of blubber. Blubber smooths the outer shape of the body, filling in any uneven areas. It also provides insulation, energy storage, and buoyancy. This layer helps the whale maintain a stable position in the water without constant effort. The flippers, located on either side of the body, are shaped like wide, flat paddles. They do not propel the whale forward. Instead, they provide control and balance. Small adjustments in flipper position help the whale steer, stabilize, and make gentle turns. Inside the flippers are bones similar to arms and hands. Though hidden beneath smooth skin, this structure allows precise control of movement. Rather than quick changes, these movements are subtle and gradual. The tail, known as the fluke, is the primary source of propulsion. It moves up and down in a slow, powerful rhythm. This vertical motion comes from the spine and reflects mammalian anatomy rather than fish-like movement. Each stroke of the fluke pushes water backward and downward, moving the whale forward efficiently. The motion is smooth, without splashing or sudden acceleration. This allows whales to travel far while using minimal energy. The overall shape of a whale supports gliding. After a few tail movements, the body continues forward with little effort. This glide phase reduces the need for constant movement, conserving energy during long swims. Whales are not built for quick turns or sudden bursts of speed. Their shape favors stability and endurance. This suits an environment where distances are large and food may be spread out. The placement of the blowhole at the top of the head also reflects body design. It allows the whale to breathe with minimal exposure at the surface. Only a small portion of the body needs to rise, reducing effort and maintaining calm movement. Skin texture also plays a role. Whale skin is smooth and often covered with a thin layer of water or microorganisms that reduce friction. This further supports quiet, efficient movement. Every part of the whale's body works together as a system. Shape, movement, and internal structure are aligned toward the same goal: steady travel through water with minimal energy loss. This design did not emerge quickly. It reflects long adaptation to life in the ocean, where efficiency matters more than speed. Beneath the smooth outer shape of a whale lies an internal structure designed for strength without tension. Everything inside the body supports long movement, deep dives, and steady control rather than quick reaction. The skeleton of a whale is strong but not rigid. Bones are dense enough to support large muscles, yet flexible enough to handle pressure changes during diving. This balance prevents damage when the whale moves between the surface and deep water. The spine plays a central role. It runs the length of the body and connects directly to the powerful muscles that move the tail. Instead of sharp bends, the spine curves gently, allowing energy to travel smoothly from muscle to movement. This structure supports the up and down motion of the fluke. Each movement begins deep within the body, passes through the spine, and reaches the tail without interruption. The result is steady propulsion rather than sudden force. Muscles in a whale are arranged in thick layers. They are designed for endurance, not rapid contraction. These muscles work slowly and efficiently, allowing whales to swim for long periods without fatigue. Energy use remains low because muscles do not tighten unnecessarily. Movement is controlled and measured, reducing strain on joints and connective tissue. The rib cage is flexible compared to that of land mammals. As a whale dives, pressure increases. The chest compresses gently rather than resisting this change. This flexibility protects the lungs and other organs from damage. Lungs in whales are designed to collapse safely during deep dives. Air is moved into spaces where it cannot cause harm. This prevents pressure-related injury and reduces the risk of nitrogen absorption. Blood circulation also adapts during dives. Blood flow is reduced to less critical areas and focused on vital organs such as the brain and heart. Heart rate slows, conserving oxygen and energy. These internal adjustments happen smoothly and without conscious effort. The whale does not struggle against depth. It adapts to it. Joints in a whale's body are stable rather than highly flexible. This stability supports smooth motion and prevents unnecessary movement that could waste energy. Flexibility exists where needed, but excess motion is avoided. The internal arrangement of organs also reflects balance. Everything is positioned to maintain stability and buoyancy. Weight is distributed evenly, helping the whale remain level in the water. Even the nervous system reflects calm efficiency. Signals travel steadily, coordinating movement without urgency. Reactions are measured rather than immediate. This internal design supports a life of long journeys and deep dives. Whales do not rely on quick reflexes. They rely on structure, strength, and balance. Every system works together quietly. Muscles, bones, lungs, and circulation align toward the same purpose: sustained movement through a vast environment. This internal quiet strength allows whales to remain calm even under pressure. Depth does not force action. It invites adjustment. How whales breathe and control air. Breathing shapes nearly every part of a whale's life. Unlike animals that live entirely on land, whales must balance time spent underwater with the need to return to the surface for air. This balance is handled with calm control rather than urgency. Whales breathe through a single opening called a blowhole, located at the top of the head. This placement allows them to take in air while exposing only a small portion of the body above the surface. The rest of the body remains supported by water, reducing effort and maintaining stability. Breathing for a whale is not constant. It happens in deliberate moments. When a whale surfaces, it opens the blowhole, exchanges air quickly, and then seals the opening completely before diving again. Water never enters the lungs during this process. The muscles around the blowhole are strong and precise. They remain closed underwater without effort, preventing leaks even during deep dives. This seal allows whales to descend calmly, without needing to think about breathing until it is time to return. Whale lungs are different from those of land mammals. They are flexible and designed to handle pressure. As a whale dives deeper, increasing pressure causes the lungs to collapse safely. Air is pushed into smaller spaces where it cannot cause damage. This collapse is not harmful. It is protective. By reducing the volume of air in the lungs at depth, whales avoid problems related to pressure and gas exchange. The body remains stable and comfortable. Oxygen storage also works differently. Whales store a large amount of oxygen in their blood and muscles rather than in their lungs alone. Special proteins hold oxygen and release it slowly as needed. This allows whales to stay underwater for extended periods without stress. Heart rate plays an important role. When a whale dives, its heart rate slows. This reduces oxygen use and conserves energy. Blood flow is directed primarily to vital organs such as the brain and heart. Other parts of the body receive less blood during a dive, but this reduction is controlled and temporary. The whale does not experience discomfort. It is a natural adjustment that supports long dives. Breathing rhythm is closely tied to movement. Whales often glide after a series of tail strokes, allowing the body to move forward without additional effort. This reduces oxygen use and extends time underwater. When it is time to surface, the ascent is gradual. Pressure changes slowly, allowing the body to adjust smoothly. At the surface, breathing happens in a calm sequence rather than a single gasp. A whale may take several breaths in a row before diving again. Each breath replenishes oxygen stores and releases carbon dioxide. The process is efficient and quiet. Breathing patterns vary between species and situations. Some whales surface frequently for short breaths. Others remain underwater for longer periods, surfacing less often. In all cases, breathing is planned rather than reactive. Even rest is shaped by breathing. Whales cannot fall fully unconscious, because they must remain aware enough to surface for air. Instead, they rest in a state where awareness is reduced but not absent. This half-resting state allows breathing to continue without disruption. The body remains calm, drifting or moving slowly near the surface. Breathing control supports the overall calm behavior of whales. There is no panic associated with air. There is no struggle against depth. The ocean becomes a place where breathing, movement, and rest are coordinated smoothly. Each action supports the others. Understanding how whales breathe helps explain their slow pace and measured responses. They do not rush because rushing would waste oxygen. They do not react suddenly because calm control preserves balance. Breathing is not just a biological function for whales. It is the rhythm that shapes their entire way of living in water. When whales dive deep, the body follows a sequence of changes that happen smoothly and without urgency. These changes are not reactions to danger. They are familiar adjustments, practiced over a lifetime. As a whale descends, pressure increases gradually. Water presses evenly from all sides, and the body responds by becoming more compact. Air spaces reduce in size, and buoyancy changes. This shift is expected and managed calmly. During deep dives, whales do not rely on lungs for oxygen. Instead, oxygen stored in the blood and muscles becomes the primary source. This storage allows steady use over time, preventing sudden depletion. The brain remains protected throughout the dive. Blood flow is carefully maintained to support awareness and coordination. Even at depth, the whale remains calm and controlled. Muscles continue to work slowly. There is no rapid movement. Each tail stroke is deliberate, allowing the whale to glide between motions. This glide reduces energy use and preserves oxygen. Whales do not dive as deep as possible every time. Depth is chosen based on purpose. Some dives are shallow and brief. Others are deeper and longer. This variation prevents strain. The body is never pushed to extremes unnecessarily. As a dive reaches its natural end, the whale begins to ascend. The rise is gradual. There is no sudden movement toward the surface. As pressure decreases, the body reverses its earlier adjustments. Air spaces expand gently. Blood circulation returns to normal patterns. The heart rate slowly increases. This recovery is as calm as the dive itself. At the surface, breathing resumes in a measured sequence. A whale may take several breaths, each one restoring oxygen levels. There is no gasping. Breathing remains controlled and quiet. Between deep dives, whales often rest near the surface. They may drift slowly or move with minimal effort. This rest period allows the body to fully recover before the next dive. Recovery time is not wasted time. It is an essential part of the breathing cycle. Whales do not push themselves continuously. This pattern of dive and recovery supports long-term health. It prevents fatigue and reduces stress on organs and tissues. Over years, whales learn their own limits. Experience guides depth, duration, and recovery pace. Young whales dive less deeply and for shorter periods. As they grow, capacity increases gradually. This learning process reinforces calm behavior. There is no reward for excess effort. Deep diving is not an act of endurance for whales. It is a familiar movement through a three-dimensional space. Depth becomes just another direction, like distance or time. By respecting limits and allowing recovery, whales maintain balance. Their breathing, movement, and rest remain aligned. This alignment allows whales to live comfortably in an environment where pressure changes constantly, without struggle or urgency. Life in the ocean places constant demands on the body, especially when it comes to temperature and energy. Water removes heat much faster than air, and the deeper a whale goes, the colder the surroundings can become. To live calmly in such conditions, whales rely on a quiet but essential layer beneath their skin. This layer is called blubber. Blubber is a thick layer of fat that lies just below the whale's skin and above muscles and organs. It is not a simple covering. It is a complex system that supports warmth, energy balance, and movement all at once. The primary role of blubber is insulation. It slows the loss of body heat, helping whales maintain a stable internal temperature even in cold water. Because whales are warm-blooded, this stability is necessary for normal body function. Blubber works by trapping heat close to the body. Its structure reduces the flow of warmth from inside to outside, allowing whales to remain comfortable without constant movement. This reduces the need to generate extra heat through muscle activity. Energy conservation begins here. Blubber also acts as an energy reserve. Whales do not eat continuously. Many species feed intensively during certain seasons and then travel long distances or spend time in areas where food is scarce. During feeding periods, excess energy is stored in blubber. Later, this stored energy is slowly released as needed. This allows whales to move calmly through long migrations without frequent feeding. The thickness of blubber changes over time. It increases during periods of abundant food and decreases during times of travel or limited feeding. These changes happen gradually and without stress. Blubber also plays a role in buoyancy. Fat is less dense than water, which helps whales float naturally. This buoyancy reduces effort when resting near the surface and supports smooth ascents and descents during dives. Because blubber is flexible, it does not restrict movement. It moves with the body, maintaining a smooth outer shape that reduces resistance in water. This smoothness contributes to efficient swimming. Blood flow within blubber can change depending on conditions. In colder water, blood vessels constrict, reducing heat loss. In warmer conditions, vessels open slightly, allowing excess heat to dissipate. This control allows whales to fine-tune temperature without conscious effort. Blubber also protects internal organs. It acts as a cushion, absorbing minor impacts and pressure changes. This protection is especially useful during deep dives, where pressure increases steadily. The distribution of blubber is not uniform. Some areas, such as the back and sides, have thicker layers than others. This distribution supports balance and stability in the water. Calves are born with a thinner blubber layer than adults. As they grow and nurse, blubber thickness increases gradually. This slow development supports learning and movement without strain. Blubber is not just stored fat. It is active tissue, involved in hormone production and energy regulation. It communicates with the rest of the body, helping maintain balance over long periods. Because of blubber, whales can remain calm in environments that would otherwise demand constant effort. They do not need to rush to warm themselves or feed continuously. Their bodies provide quiet support. This layer reflects a broader pattern in whale biology. Rather than reacting quickly to challenges, whales rely on stored resources and slow adjustment. Warmth, energy, and movement are connected through blubber. Together, they support a life that unfolds steadily within the ocean. How whales move without effort. Movement in the ocean follows different rules than movement on land. Water supports the body, surrounds it completely, and resists sudden motion. Because of this, whales do not move by force or speed. They move by efficiency. A whale's movement is designed to reduce effort rather than increase power. Each motion is shaped to work with water, not against it. This allows whales to travel long distances without exhaustion. The primary source of movement is the tail, known as the fluke. It moves up and down in a slow, steady rhythm. This motion comes from the spine and large muscles deep within the body. Unlike fish, which move side to side, whales use vertical motion. This style matches mammalian anatomy and produces smooth forward movement. Each tail stroke pushes water backward and slightly downward, creating lift and forward motion at the same time. Between tail strokes, whales often glide. Gliding allows the body to continue moving without additional effort. This pause between movements reduces energy use and oxygen consumption. Whales do not swim continuously. They alternate between movement and stillness, allowing momentum to carry them forward. This pattern supports endurance rather than speed. The shape of the body supports this style of motion. Smooth curves allow water to flow around the whale without turbulence. Resistance is minimized, and movement remains quiet. Flippers play a different role. They are not used for propulsion. Instead, they provide balance and control. Small adjustments in flipper position allow whales to steer, stabilize, and make gentle turns. These adjustments are subtle and gradual, avoiding sudden changes in direction. Whales rarely make sharp turns. Their movement favors wide arcs and smooth transitions. This reduces strain on muscles and joints and maintains steady forward motion. Depth also influences movement. As whales descend, buoyancy changes. At certain depths, whales become nearly weightless in water. At this point, movement requires very little effort. A whale can glide downward or remain suspended with minimal motion. This state is often used during deep dives to conserve energy. Ascending is also controlled. Rather than swimming upward forcefully, whales often use stored buoyancy and slow tail strokes to rise gently. This gradual ascent supports breathing control and reduces physical stress. Whales adjust their speed based on purpose. When traveling long distances, they move slowly and steadily. When feeding or socializing, movement may increase slightly, but it remains controlled. There is no wasted motion. Every movement has a reason. Muscle activity is spread evenly across the body. Large muscles generate power, while smaller muscles fine-tune direction and balance. This coordination prevents fatigue and supports long-term movement. Movement is also linked to breathing. Whales often time tail strokes with breathing cycles, aligning physical effort with oxygen availability. This coordination further conserves energy. Even young whales learn this style early. Calves follow their mothers, matching movement and rhythm. Through repetition, efficient swimming becomes natural. This way of moving allows whales to remain calm even in vast spaces. Distance does not create urgency. Movement does not require haste. Whales are not built for speed. They are built for endurance, balance, and quiet travel. This calm movement supports migration, feeding, and rest. It allows whales to exist comfortably within an environment that is always in motion. Understanding how whales move helps explain their steady presence across oceans. They do not rush through space. They flow through it. Inside a whale's body, movement and calm are supported by a physiology that favors steadiness over speed. The heart, blood, and circulation work together in a way that conserves energy and supports long periods of quiet activity. A whale's heart is large and strong, but it does not beat rapidly. Its rhythm is slow and measured, matching the whale's overall pace of life. This slower heartbeat reduces energy use and allows oxygen to be distributed efficiently. At the surface, the heart rate is higher than it is during a dive, but it remains controlled. When a whale descends, the heart rate gradually slows. This change is not sudden. It happens smoothly as the body prepares for depth. Slowing the heart reduces oxygen consumption. Blood is directed where it is needed most, especially to the brain and heart itself. Other organs receive less blood temporarily, without harm. This redistribution is carefully regulated. The whale does not experience stress or discomfort. It is a familiar pattern, repeated many times each day. Whale blood plays an important role in oxygen storage. Compared to many land mammals, whales have a higher volume of blood relative to body size. This larger volume allows more oxygen to be carried and stored. Red blood cells in whales are well suited for holding oxygen. They release it slowly and steadily, supporting long periods underwater. This slow release prevents sudden drops in oxygen levels. Muscles also store oxygen directly. Special proteins within muscle tissue hold oxygen and make it available during movement. This reduces reliance on lung oxygen during dives. Together, blood and muscle storage create a reserve system. Whales do not need to breathe frequently because oxygen is available throughout the body. Circulation adjusts continuously during movement. When swimming steadily, blood flow supports muscle activity without excess. When resting or gliding, circulation slows further, conserving energy. This flexibility allows whales to shift easily between activity and rest. There is no sharp boundary between the two states. Blood pressure is also managed carefully. As whales dive deeper, external pressure increases. Internal pressure adjusts to match it, preventing strain on blood vessels. The walls of blood vessels are strong but flexible. They adapt to changes in pressure without damage. This flexibility supports repeated dives over long lifetimes. Temperature regulation is closely linked to circulation. Blood flow can be reduced near the skin in cold water, keeping heat near vital organs. In warmer conditions, blood flow increases slightly, allowing excess heat to escape. These changes happen automatically. The whale does not need to react consciously. The slow physiology of whales supports their calm behavior. There is no advantage to rapid heartbeats or quick circulation in the ocean. Steady systems are more reliable over long distances and long time periods. Young whales develop this physiology gradually. As calves grow, their hearts, blood volume, and oxygen storage capacity increase slowly. Experience shapes how these systems are used. Older whales have well-practiced control over their bodies. They know how deeply to dive, how long to stay underwater, and how to recover calmly at the surface. This knowledge is not learned suddenly. It is built through repetition in time. The heart, blood, and circulation form a quiet foundation for everything a whale does. They support movement, breathing, rest, and migration without demanding attention. Slow physiology does not limit whales. It allows them to exist comfortably in an environment that changes constantly. How whales hear the ocean. In the ocean, hearing matters more than sight. Light fades quickly with depth, and even near the surface it can scatter and distort. Sound, however, travels far and remains clear. Because of this, whales experience their world primarily through hearing. Whale ears are adapted specifically for underwater listening. They are not designed to catch sound from the air in the way human ears do. Instead, they are tuned to receive vibrations that move through water and through the whale's own body. Sound reaches a whale in multiple ways. Some vibrations pass directly through water and into specialized tissues around the ear. Others travel through the bones of the skull, carrying information inward without needing an external ear opening. This design allows whales to hear clearly even in dark or murky water. They do not rely on sharp vision to understand their surroundings. They rely on steady listening. Different whales hear different ranges of sound. Some are especially sensitive to low-frequency sounds that travel long distances. Others hear higher frequencies that provide detailed information about nearby objects. This variation matches how whales live. Whales that travel long distances benefit from sounds that carry far. Whales that hunt or navigate complex environments benefit from sounds that offer precision. Hearing helps whales stay oriented. It allows them to sense changes in the ocean around them. Waves, currents, and distant movement all produce subtle vibrations. These vibrations form a constant background. Whales learn to recognize patterns within it. They notice when something changes. Hearing also supports social connection. Whales use sound to maintain contact with others without needing to stay close. A low call can travel through water for long distances, allowing individuals to remain aware of one another. This communication does not require constant sound. Often, a single call is enough. Silence follows, and listening resumes. Whale hearing is precise. They can detect direction and distance based on how sound arrives at each ear. Tiny differences in timing and intensity provide spatial awareness. This awareness helps whales move calmly through open water. They do not need to rush or react suddenly. Information arrives early and gradually. Some whales also use sound to explore their surroundings. They produce controlled clicks and listen for returning echoes. These echoes reveal the presence, shape, and distance of objects. This process is quiet and efficient. It does not flood the environment with noise. It provides just enough information to move confidently. Whale hearing remains active even during rest. While part of the brain rests, the other part continues to monitor sound. This ensures awareness of surroundings without full alertness. Hearing also plays a role in learning. Young whales listen to the sounds made by adults. Through repetition, they become familiar with the acoustic patterns of their group and environment. Over time, These sounds become part of memory. They guide movement, social interaction, and navigation. The ocean is never silent, but it is rarely loud. Most sounds are low, steady, and continuous. Whales are tuned to this quiet complexity. Their hearing does not seek sharp signals or sudden changes. It seeks consistency and pattern. This way of listening supports calm behavior. Whales do not need to investigate every sound. They recognize what belongs and what does not. Hearing, for whales, is not just a sense. It is a way of being present within a vast space. It allows awareness without effort and connection without closeness. In the open ocean, distance is measured differently. There are no clear landmarks, and visibility is limited. Sound becomes the most reliable way to stay connected across space. Many whales use low-frequency sounds that move slowly and steadily through water. These sounds travel much farther than higher-pitched ones. They lose little energy as they move, allowing them to pass across vast areas of the ocean. Low-frequency sound does not feel sharp or urgent. It feels broad and smooth. This quality makes it well suited for long-distance communication. When a whale produces a low sound, it spreads outward in all directions. It moves through layers of water, around obstacles, and across changing depths. The sound carries information without requiring repeated effort. This allows whales to remain connected even when they are far apart. They do not need to travel closely together. Distance does not mean separation. These sounds can serve many purposes. Some help maintain awareness of others in the area. Some signal location. Others support coordination during movement or migration. Communication is not constant. Whales do not fill the ocean with sound. They communicate when needed, then return to listening. This balance preserves energy and attention. Low-frequency sounds are also shaped by the ocean itself. Water temperature, depth, and pressure influence how sound moves. Whales do not need to calculate these factors. They learn them through experience. Over time, whales become familiar with how sound behaves in different places. They know where sound travels far and where it fades quickly. This knowledge supports navigation and movement across large regions. These sounds are not loud in the way human noise is loud. They are deep and steady. They blend into the ocean rather than cutting through it. Whales can recognize individual voices within these sounds. Small variations in tone and rhythm carry identity. This allows recognition without visual contact. Young whales learn these sounds by listening. They hear them repeatedly and begin to understand their meaning through context. Learning happens gradually, without instruction. Some sounds remain consistent across generations. Others change slowly over time. This creates continuity while allowing flexibility. Low-frequency communication supports calm behavior. There is no need for repeated calling or constant response. One sound can be enough. Whales trust that sound will travel. They do not need to chase communication. This trust shapes social structure. Groups can remain spread out, reducing competition and crowding. Each individual maintains space while staying connected. Long-distance sound also helps whales respond to large-scale changes. Shifts in ocean conditions, movement of groups, or changes in location can be sensed through sound patterns. Awareness expands beyond immediate surroundings. Low-frequency communication allows whales to exist within a wide acoustic landscape. They are aware of distant presence without needing to approach it. This creates a sense of continuity across the ocean. Movement feels guided rather than random. Sound does not rush whales. It does not demand immediate reaction. It offers information calmly. This style of communication fits naturally with a life built around patience and long time scales. Whales do not hurry to respond. They adjust gradually. Low-frequency sound becomes a quiet thread connecting individuals across depth and distance, supporting steady movement and calm presence within a vast environment. Some whales produce sounds that are longer and more structured than simple calls. These sounds are often described as songs, not because they are musical in a human sense, but because they follow repeating patterns over time. Whale songs are slow and measured. They are made up of sequences that repeat, pause, and then return again. Nothing about these sounds feels rushed. They unfold gradually, sometimes over many minutes. These songs are most commonly produced by certain large whales, especially in open ocean regions. They are not constant. They appear during specific times and in specific places. The purpose of whale songs is not fully understood, but their role is calm rather than dramatic. They are not alarms. They are not expressions of urgency. Songs seem to be linked to social awareness. They allow whales to signal presence without requiring movement. A whale can remain still, or move slowly, while its sound travels outward. These songs often repeat with small variations. The structure remains familiar, but details change slightly. This creates continuity without rigidity. Over time, entire groups of whales may share similar song patterns. These patterns can change slowly across seasons or years. The change is gradual, not sudden. Young whales learn these songs by listening. They do not practice loudly or often. They absorb patterns over time, becoming familiar with the rhythm and tone of their group. Learning happens quietly, through exposure rather than instruction. Whale songs travel far through water, especially at low frequencies. They move through layers of the ocean, carrying information beyond visual range. Distance does not weaken their purpose. These songs may help whales remain aware of others during migration or while spread across feeding areas. They reduce the need for close proximity. The structure of whale songs suggests patience. Repeating patterns require time. They are not designed for quick response. Listening becomes as important as producing sound. Whales spend long periods simply receiving information, allowing sound to arrive without interruption. Songs also reflect stability. A repeated pattern creates familiarity within a changing environment. This familiarity can be grounding in a vast and open space. Whale songs do not dominate the ocean soundscape. They blend into it. There is space between sounds, and silence remains present. This balance prevents sensory overload. Whales do not overwhelm their environment with noise. Songs are not always shared by all whales. Some individuals produce them, while others remain silent. This difference suggests that sound use is flexible rather than fixed. The calm nature of whale songs aligns with the overall pace of whale life. They do not demand immediate attention. They offer presence. Whales do not sing to fill space. They sing to remain connected across it. The ocean carries these sounds patiently, without distortion or hurry. The song moves outward, then fades, leaving quiet behind. This rhythm of sound and silence supports calm awareness. Connection does not require constant contact. Whale songs are one more way whales exist comfortably within distance and time, using sound not to rush or react, but to remain gently aware of one another, memory, learning, and whale intelligence. Whale intelligence does not appear in quick reactions or visible problem solving. It reveals itself slowly, through memory, learning, and consistency over time. In the ocean, where conditions change gradually, this kind of intelligence is more useful than speed. Whales rely heavily on memory. They remember migration routes that stretch across entire oceans. These routes are not marked by signs or boundaries. They exist only in experience. A whale does not need to rediscover these paths each year. They are recalled calmly, often following the same general patterns again and again. This memory allows whales to move confidently through vast spaces without hesitation. Learning begins early. Calves stay close to their mothers, observing movement, timing, and behavior. They learn when to surface, when to dive, and how to travel long distances without exhaustion. This learning is not forced. It happens naturally, through repetition and shared movement. Young whales absorb information simply by being present. Whales also remember places. Feeding grounds, resting areas, and safe routes are stored over long periods of time. Some whales return to the same regions year after year, even after long absences. This ability requires more than instinct. It requires recognition and recall. Social memory is equally important. Whales recognize familiar individuals through sound and movement. They remember companions even after long separations. These recognitions do not lead to sudden excitement. They lead to calm acknowledgement. Whale intelligence also includes adaptability. When conditions shift slowly, whales adjust their behavior rather than resisting change. If food becomes less available in one area, migration timing may shift slightly. These adjustments are measured, not reactive. Problem-solving in whales is subtle. It appears in how they coordinate movement, how they time feeding, and how they conserve energy. They do not experiment rapidly. They refine behavior gradually. Whales also show awareness of their environment beyond immediate needs. They respond to changes in sound, current patterns, and water conditions. This awareness helps them remain oriented without constant movement. The brain of a whale is large and complex, but size alone does not define intelligence. What matters is how information is processed over time. Whale brains support long attention spans and steady awareness. They are well suited for monitoring a broad environment rather than focusing narrowly. Rest and learning are connected. Because whales rest one half of the brain at a time, learning continues even during periods of reduced activity. Awareness never fully disappears. This continuous awareness supports memory formation. Information is not lost during rest. Whales do not show intelligence through dominance or control. They show it through patience, recognition, and long-term stability. This kind of intelligence fits a life lived in deep water, where quick decisions are rarely necessary and steady awareness is more valuable. Memory, learning, and intelligence together allow whales to exist comfortably within change. They do not rush to respond. They rely on experience. Emotional bonds among whales. Whales live within relationships that form slowly and remain steady over time. These relationships are not based on constant interaction or close proximity. They are based on familiarity, recognition, and shared experience. Emotional bonds among whales are calm rather than expressive. They do not appear through dramatic behavior. They appear through consistency. Mothers and calves form the strongest and longest-lasting bonds. From birth, a calf stays close to its mother, matching her movement and pace. This closeness is not enforced. It happens naturally through shared rhythm. The mother guides without pressure. She adjusts her speed, depth, and breathing to match the calf's needs. This patience allows the calf to learn without stress. As the calf grows, the bond remains, even as independence increases. The connection shifts gradually rather than ending suddenly. Learning continues through observation and shared movement. Beyond mother and calf, many whales maintain long-term social connections. Some species live in stable family groups that remain together for years. Others form looser associations that change slowly over time. In both cases, recognition matters. Whales recognize familiar individuals through sound, movement, and presence. These recognitions do not trigger excitement. They create calm acknowledgement. Whales often remain near familiar individuals during migration or feeding. They do not crowd together. They maintain comfortable distance while staying aware of one another. This spacing reduces tension and conserves energy. Connection does not require closeness. Sound plays a role in maintaining emotional bonds. Gentle calls help whales stay aware of each other's location. These sounds are not constant. They appear when needed, then fade. Silence remains an important part of connection. Listening can be as meaningful as calling. Whales also respond to changes in the behavior of others. They adjust movement when another whale slows. They remain nearby when one rests. These adjustments are subtle. They show awareness without interference. Emotional bonds in whales support stability. They reduce uncertainty in a large and open environment. Familiar presence provides continuity across long journeys. These bonds also support learning. Young whales benefit from remaining near experienced individuals. Knowledge is shared through shared behavior rather than instruction. Whales do not compete aggressively within their social groups. Resources are spread across large areas, reducing pressure. Cooperation emerges naturally. Even when whales separate, bonds are not lost. Memory preserves connection. A familiar sound or movement can restore recognition after long absence. This continuity suggests emotional capacity grounded in memory rather than reaction. Whales do not rely on constant reassurance. They trust the persistence of connection. Emotional bonds do not distract whales from survival. They support it. Calm relationships reduce stress and support steady behavior. In the ocean, where change happens slowly, this kind of emotional stability is valuable. It allows whales to move through life without urgency, supported by quiet connection rather than constant interaction. The beginning of a whale's life happens quietly, within water that supports and steadies every movement. Birth does not take place on land, and it does not involve haste. It follows a calm sequence shaped by preparation and timing. Whale mothers carry their calves for many months. During this time, movement remains gentle. The mother continues to swim, feed, and travel, adjusting pace as needed. There is no clear separation between daily life and preparation for birth. When the time arrives, birth usually happens in calm water. The mother slows her movement and remains near the surface. Support from water reduces strain and allows the process to unfold steadily. Calves are born tail first. This position helps ensure that breathing begins only after the calf reaches the surface. The body enters the water fully supported, without sudden pressure. Immediately after birth, the mother stays close. She guides the calf upward, helping it reach the surface for its first breath. This moment is controlled and deliberate. Breathing begins without panic. From the first minutes of life, a calf must surface regularly. It cannot breathe underwater, and it has not yet learned long dives. The mother adjusts her movement to match this need, staying near the surface and moving slowly. Early life is shaped by closeness. The calf remains beside or just behind the mother, staying within her slipstream. This position reduces effort and allows the calf to move without strain. Swimming is learned through following. There is no instruction. The calf copies the mother's movement, timing tail strokes and surfacing by observation. Milk provides the main source of energy during this period. Whale milk is thick and rich, designed to support rapid growth in a cold environment. Nursing happens underwater, with the calf staying close and steady. Growth is gradual but consistent. Bones strengthen. Muscles develop. Blubber thickens, improving warmth and buoyancy. As blubber increases, the calf becomes more stable in the water. Floating and swimming require less effort. Rest becomes easier. During early life, dives are shallow and brief. The calf surfaces frequently, learning to coordinate breathing and movement. The mother remains attentive, adjusting speed and depth to support this learning. Other whales may remain nearby, but direct interaction is limited. Early life focuses on the bond between mother and calf. This bond provides safety and continuity. Sound plays an important role even at this stage. The calf becomes familiar with the mother's voice and the surrounding acoustic environment. Listening begins early, long before active communication. Rest patterns develop slowly. Calves rest while moving gently or drifting near the surface. Awareness remains present, supporting breathing and orientation. As weeks pass, the calf gains confidence. Dives become slightly longer. Movement becomes smoother. Learning continues through repetition rather than correction. Mistakes are rare because the pace is slow and forgiving. The ocean offers space, and the mother uses this space to reduce pressure on the calf. There is no need to rush development. Growth happens over months and years. Early life sets the foundation for everything that follows. Breathing control, movement, sound awareness, and social recognition all begin here. This beginning is not dramatic. It is steady, supported, and quiet. After early life, growth in whales continues at a slow and steady pace. There is no sudden shift from youth to adulthood. Change happens gradually, guided by time rather than urgency. Young whales remain with their mothers for an extended period. During this time, growth is supported by both nourishment and observation. Movement becomes stronger, breathing more controlled, and dives slightly longer. Each improvement builds naturally on what came before. As nursing ends, whales begin relying fully on their own feeding skills. This transition does not happen abruptly. Mothers reduce support slowly, allowing young whales to adapt without pressure. Growth continues for many years. Bones lengthen gradually. Muscles strengthen through repeated movement rather than strain. Blubber thickens as feeding becomes more efficient. Reaching full size takes time. Whales do not mature quickly. This slow development allows learning to continue alongside physical growth. Maturity is marked by consistency rather than change. Movement becomes smoother. Breathing rhythms stabilize. Energy use becomes more efficient. Adult whales understand their limits. They know how deeply to dive, how long to remain underwater, and how much effort to use. These decisions are guided by experience rather than instinct alone. Aging in whales is subtle. There is no clear moment when adulthood ends and old age begins. Instead, behavior remains steady over long periods. Older whales may move slightly more slowly, but calm efficiency remains. They do not lose coordination or awareness suddenly. Experience compensates for any physical change. Memory continues to play a role throughout life. Older whales retain knowledge of routes, feeding grounds, and seasonal patterns. This memory supports stability and reduces the need for exploration. Social position may shift with age. Older whales are often followed rather than leading through force. Their value lies in familiarity and experience. Whales do not show signs of urgency as they age. They adjust pace rather than pushing limits. Rest becomes more frequent, but movement remains steady. Longevity supports calm behavior. Whales live with the expectation of time. There is no need to rush development or action. This long lifespan allows whales to experience many cycles of environmental change. They adapt gradually, carrying knowledge forward rather than reacting sharply. Growth, maturity, and aging in whales form a continuous process. Each stage blends into the next without disruption. This continuity supports a life shaped by patience, memory, and steady presence within the ocean. What whales eat? Feeding in whales follows the same calm principles that guide the rest of their lives. It is not constant, and it is not rushed. Whales feed when conditions are right, and they rely on timing rather than effort. The ocean does not offer food evenly across space. Some regions are rich, while others remain sparse. Whales learn these patterns over time and return to places where food gathers naturally. Different whales eat different kinds of food, but all feeding strategies aim for efficiency. Energy spent finding food must not exceed the energy gained from it. This balance shapes how whales feed and where they choose to go. Some whales feed on small organisms that gather in large numbers. Others eat fish or squid that move through deeper water. In all cases, whales avoid unnecessary movement. Feeding often happens during specific seasons. During these periods, whales may eat frequently, building energy reserves. At other times, feeding becomes less important as stored energy supports movement and rest. This pattern reduces pressure to eat constantly. Whales do not search for food every moment. They wait. Whales use awareness rather than speed to find food. They listen for changes in sound. They notice shifts in water movement. They recognize familiar feeding areas. Once food is located, feeding remains controlled. There is no struggle or chase. Movement stays smooth, conserving oxygen and energy. Some whales feed near the surface, where food gathers in sunlight-rich waters. Others dive deeper, following prey into darker regions. Depth is chosen based on efficiency, not challenge. Feeding does not disrupt breathing rhythm. Whales plan dives and surfacing carefully, ensuring air remains available. Eating fits naturally into existing movement patterns. Young whales learn feeding behavior gradually. They observe older whales and follow their timing. Skills develop over repeated exposure rather than instruction. As whales mature, feeding becomes more refined. They learn when to feed heavily and when to rely on stored energy. This judgment improves with experience. Feeding also shapes movement. Whales may slow down in rich areas or travel steadily between feeding grounds. The ocean provides space, allowing whales to spread out and reduce competition. Food availability changes over time. When it does, whales adjust quietly. They do not react suddenly. They adapt gradually. This adaptability supports long-term stability. Whales survive periods of abundance and scarcity without stress. Feeding in whales is not about constant intake. It is about alignment with natural cycles. Understanding what whales eat helps explain why they move when they do, rest when they do, and remain calm even when food is not immediately available. How whales sleep without stopping. Sleep in whales works differently from sleep on land. Because whales must surface to breathe, they cannot fall fully unconscious for long periods. Instead of stopping awareness completely, whales rest in a way that keeps breathing and movement possible. This form of rest is quiet and controlled. It allows the body to recover without losing contact with the environment. Whales rest by allowing one half of the brain to sleep while the other half remains active. This alternating pattern supports breathing, balance, and awareness at the same time. When one side of the brain rests, the other side continues to manage surfacing and gentle movement. This process switches sides over time. Both halves receive rest, just not at the same moment. There is no sharp boundary between being awake and being asleep. Rest happens in phases rather than blocks. During these resting periods, whales move slowly or drift with minimal effort. Some remain near the surface, surfacing gently for air. Others rest at shallow depths, rising calmly when needed. Movement during rest is reduced, not stopped. Small tail motions keep the body balanced. Flippers adjust position subtly to maintain stability. Breathing continues in a steady rhythm. There is no gasping or sudden surfacing. Each breath is planned and unhurried. Rest often happens during quieter times of day, but it is not strictly tied to light or darkness. In the ocean, day and night do not always create strong contrasts, especially at depth. Rest follows internal rhythm rather than external cues. Young whales rest differently from adults. Calves rest more frequently but for shorter periods. They remain close to their mothers, matching their movement and surfacing pattern. This closeness supports safety and learning. The calf does not need to manage rest independently at first. It follows. As whales grow, resting patterns become more flexible. Adults may rest alone or near others, depending on species and situation. Social structure influences where and how rest occurs. Some whales rest while slowly swimming. Others rest while remaining nearly still, supported by buoyancy. In both cases, awareness remains present. Rest is not a time of vulnerability. Because one part of the brain remains alert, whales can respond calmly to changes in sound or movement. There is no sudden awakening nor panic. This form of rest supports long-term health. Muscles recover. Energy use decreases. Mental processing continues at a lower level. Memory consolidation may occur during these periods. Experiences from movement, feeding, and interaction are quietly integrated. Learning continues even during rest. Whales do not separate rest sharply from activity. The transition between the two is smooth. A whale may move from swimming to resting without stopping, and back again without effort. This continuity reduces stress on the body. There is no need for sudden change. Environmental conditions influence rest. Calm water, stable currents, and low disturbance support longer resting periods. When conditions change, whales adjust without urgency. Rest is shaped by experience. Older whales know when to rest and how long to remain in that state. They do not push limits unnecessarily. This approach to sleep reflects the broader pattern of whale life. Nothing is abrupt. Nothing is forced. Rest becomes another form of steady movement through time rather than a complete pause. Understanding how whales sleep helps explain their calm presence. They are never fully disconnected from their environment, yet they still recover and renew. This balance allows whales to remain steady in an ocean that never truly stops moving. Whales are known for traveling across vast distances, but migration for them is not a race or a challenge. It is a slow and steady movement shaped by memory, timing, and calm awareness of the ocean. Migration usually follows familiar routes. These paths are not marked by visible signs. They exist in experience, passed through memory, and repeated over many years. Whales do not migrate suddenly. The decision to move develops gradually as conditions change. Shifts in water temperature, food availability, and seasonal cycles guide this movement quietly. During migration, whales maintain a consistent pace. They do not rush to reach a destination. Movement remains smooth, conserving energy over long distances. The ocean provides space, and whales use this space to spread out. They do not need to stay close together while traveling. Awareness is maintained through sound rather than proximity. Migration routes often connect feeding areas with calmer regions where whales rest, mate, or give birth. These regions are chosen for stability rather than abundance. Safety and calm matter more than constant food access. Energy management plays a central role. Whales rely on stored energy during long journeys. They do not feed heavily while migrating, allowing movement to remain uninterrupted. Breathing, movement, and rest remain coordinated throughout travel. Whales glide often, using momentum to reduce effort. Rest occurs in short, controlled periods without stopping forward motion. Young whales learn migration by following. They observe timing, pace, and route through shared movement. There is no instruction. Learning happens through presence. Older whales carry strong route memory. They recognize subtle changes in water conditions and adjust paths slightly when needed. These adjustments are calm and measured. Migration does not look the same every year. Routes may shift gently in response to long-term environmental changes. Whales adapt slowly, preserving stability. Sound continues to guide movement. Low-frequency calls help maintain awareness across distance. Listening remains as important as moving. Even during long journeys, whales do not appear strained. Their bodies are built for endurance. Movement remains balanced and efficient. Rest is woven into migration. Whales do not separate travel from recovery. Both happen together, allowing journeys to extend over weeks or months. Migration supports long-term survival. It allows whales to follow resources without exhausting any single area. This balance benefits both whales and the ocean. Traveling long distances does not create urgency. It reinforces patience. Migration reflects a deep understanding of time and space. Whales move not because they must rush, but because movement itself is part of balance. These journeys are not dramatic events. They are quiet transitions between states of life. The ocean carries whales gently as they travel, and whales respond by moving with it rather than against it. During long migrations, whales move with confidence even though the ocean offers few visible guides. There are no roads or boundaries beneath the surface. Navigation depends on quiet cues that remain consistent over time. One of these cues is the Earth's magnetic field. The planet produces a subtle magnetic pattern that extends through the ocean. Whales are thought to sense this pattern and use it as a broad reference for direction. This sense does not work like a compass with precise angles. It provides general orientation. It helps whales know whether they are moving steadily north or south, toward familiar regions rather than away from them. Magnetic awareness works alongside memory. Whales do not follow magnetic cues alone. They combine them with remembered routes, timing, and experience. The ocean itself also provides guidance. Currents move in consistent patterns over long periods. Temperature changes gently across regions. Salinity varies slowly with depth and location. Whales learn these patterns through repeated travel. They recognize how water feels and moves in different places. This recognition supports navigation without effort. Sound continues to play a role. Low-frequency sounds reflect differently depending on depth, seafloor shape, and distance from land. By listening, whales gain information about their surroundings. These acoustic cues do not announce location directly. They provide texture. Whales sense whether space is open, enclosed, deep, or shallow. Light also contributes near the surface. Changes in brightness, angle of sunlight, and reflection help whales maintain orientation during daylight hours. This information is subtle and used calmly. Smell may play a small role as well. Chemical traces in water change across regions. Over time, whales may associate certain water characteristics with familiar places. Navigation is not a constant activity. Whales do not actively check direction at every moment. They move, listen, feel, and adjust only when needed. This reduces mental effort and supports calm movement. Young whales learn navigation gradually. They follow experienced individuals, absorbing cues through repetition. Routes become familiar through time rather than instruction. Mistakes are rare because movement is slow. There is time to adjust if conditions feel unfamiliar. There is no need to react quickly. Navigation remains flexible. When conditions change slowly, whales adapt routes gently. They do not resist change. They incorporate it. This flexibility protects against long-term shifts in the ocean. Whales are not dependent on exact paths. They rely on patterns. The combination of magnetic awareness, memory, sound, and water conditions creates a layered navigation system. No single cue dominates. Each supports the others. This layered approach allows whales to travel long distances without strain or confusion. Direction emerges from awareness rather than calculation. Migration becomes an extension of daily movement rather than a separate task. Navigation happens quietly in the background. Whales do not need certainty at every moment. They trust the continuity of cues that have guided them before. This trust supports calm travel across open water, where space is vast and time is unhurried. A whale's day does not follow a strict schedule. There are no clear beginnings or endings to activity. Instead, life unfolds through a series of gentle rhythms shaped by breathing, movement, rest, and awareness. Unlike land animals, whales do not divide time sharply into day and night. Light changes matter less beneath the surface, especially at depth. Daily rhythm comes from the body rather than the sky. Breathing sets the foundation. Each surfacing creates a natural pause. Between breaths, whales move, glide, listen, and rest. This pattern repeats calmly throughout the day. Movement flows in cycles. A whale may swim steadily for a time, then glide with minimal effort. Later, movement may slow further as rest takes priority. There is no sudden shift between states. Feeding fits into this rhythm naturally. When food is available, whales feed steadily. When it is not, they rely on stored energy without stress. Eating does not interrupt breathing or movement patterns. Rest appears throughout the day rather than being confined to a single period. Whales rest in short phases, allowing recovery without stopping awareness. These moments of rest are woven between movement and breathing. Sound awareness continues at all times. Even during rest, whales listen. Changes in sound or water movement are noticed without alarm. Awareness remains broad and steady. Social interaction also follows a gentle rhythm. Whales may remain near others for long periods without direct interaction. Presence does not require constant communication. Calls may occur occasionally, then silence returns. This balance supports calm connection. Young whales experience these rhythms differently. They surface more often, rest more frequently, and move shorter distances. Their daily patterns are shaped by learning rather than efficiency. As whales mature, rhythms become smoother. Breathing intervals lengthen. Movement becomes more economical. Rest becomes deeper but still controlled. Environmental conditions influence daily rhythm. Calm water supports longer rest. Stronger currents may increase movement slightly. These adjustments happen quietly. There is no single correct rhythm. Whales adapt their daily patterns to location, season, and experience. Flexibility is more important than routine. This approach reduces stress. There is no pressure to perform specific actions at specific times. The body responds naturally to need. Daily life for a whale is not defined by tasks. It is defined by balance. Breathing, moving, listening, resting, and feeding form a continuous flow. Each supports the others. This flow allows whales to remain calm in an environment that is always changing. Time becomes a wide space rather than a series of moments. Understanding daily rhythms helps explain why whales appear unhurried. They are not waiting for something to begin or end. They are simply moving within a steady pattern shaped by the ocean itself. How whales sense their environment. Living in the ocean requires constant awareness, but not constant attention. Whales sense their environment in a broad, quiet way, gathering information without focusing on every detail. Vision plays a limited role. Light fades quickly underwater, and clarity changes with depth and water conditions. Whales use sight when it is available, but they do not depend on it. Instead, whales rely on a combination of senses that work together gently. Hearing, touch, pressure awareness, and body position all contribute to understanding space. The skin of a whale is sensitive to changes in water movement. Currents, waves, and passing animals create subtle shifts in pressure. These shifts are felt across the body, providing information about nearby motion. This sensitivity does not cause reaction. It supports awareness. Whales can sense changes in depth through pressure. As they move downward, pressure increases evenly. The body recognizes this change without discomfort, allowing whales to know their position in the water column. This pressure awareness helps regulate movement and buoyancy. It supports smooth dives and controlled descents. Whales also sense water temperature. Small changes indicate different layers of water or movement into new regions. These temperature cues help whales adjust depth or direction gradually. Sound, as already explored, remains central. But sensing goes beyond hearing individual sounds. It includes noticing the absence of sound, echoes, and background patterns. Silence itself carries information. Whales do not isolate senses. Information blends together. Movement, sound, pressure, and temperature form a continuous field of awareness. This integrated sensing allows whales to remain calm even when visibility is low. They do not search actively for information. They allow it to arrive. Young whales learn this sensing slowly. They experience changes in depth, sound, and movement alongside their mothers. Over time, patterns become familiar. As experience grows, sensing becomes more efficient. Less attention is required to understand surroundings. The environment feels predictable rather than uncertain. This efficiency reduces mental effort. Whales do not become overwhelmed by constant input. They remain relaxed. Sensing also supports navigation and feeding. Subtle cues help whales recognize productive areas or avoid unsuitable conditions. These decisions are made quietly. Whales do not interpret their environment through urgency. They interpret it through continuity. This style of sensing matches the slow pace of ocean life. Changes happen gradually, and whales respond gradually. The environment does not demand constant reaction. It invites steady awareness. By sensing broadly rather than sharply, whales maintain balance. They do not fixate on single signals. They remain open to the whole. This calm perception allows whales to move through vast, changing spaces without stress, guided by awareness rather than alertness. The ocean is never still, yet it rarely feels rushed. Currents move slowly across great distances, shaping temperature, nutrients, and life itself. Whales live within this moving system and adjust to it calmly. Rather than resisting water movement, whales work with it. They sense the direction and strength of currents through their bodies. This awareness allows them to choose paths that reduce effort and conserve energy. Some currents are gentle and steady. Others shift with seasons or weather. Whales do not need to understand these changes in detail. They recognize patterns through experience. When moving with a current, whales allow water to carry part of the journey. They glide more often, using fewer tail strokes. This reduces energy use and supports long-distance travel. Against stronger currents, whales slow their pace. They do not push harder than necessary. They wait for conditions to improve or adjust direction slightly. Depth plays an important role. Currents change with depth, and whales move vertically to find calmer layers. This adjustment is subtle and does not interrupt breathing or rest. The flow of water also shapes feeding opportunities. Currents gather nutrients and concentrate small organisms. Whales learn where these flows meet and return to such areas when conditions are right. Seasonal changes in currents guide migration timing. As water warms or cools, movement patterns shift gently. Whales follow these changes without urgency. Currents also influence sound. They bend and carry low-frequency calls in different ways. Whales listen to how sound travels, gaining information about open space and distance. This listening supports orientation. It helps whales remain aware of the larger environment beyond immediate surroundings. Young whales learn about currents through shared movement. They follow experienced individuals, feeling how water changes across regions. Knowledge builds through repetition rather than instruction. The relationship between whales and currents is cooperative rather than forceful. Whales do not try to dominate movement. They adapt. This adaptation reduces fatigue and stress. It allows whales to remain calm even during long journeys. The ocean's flow also affects rest. Calm currents support longer resting phases. Stronger movement encourages gentle swimming to maintain balance. These adjustments happen quietly. There is no sudden change in behavior. Whales do not experience the ocean as separate parts. Currents, temperature, sound, and depth blend into one continuous experience. Movement feels guided rather than chosen. By aligning with the flow of water, whales maintain balance. They move through change without reacting sharply. This relationship reflects a broader pattern in whale life. Effort is used only when needed. Support is accepted when available. The ocean moves and whales move with it, allowing time and space to remain open and unhurried. In certain regions of the ocean, currents meet and slow. When this happens, nutrients rise gently from deeper water. Small organisms gather in these places, creating quiet zones of abundance. Whales learn to recognize these zones over time. They do not search randomly. They return to areas where currents have created balance before. These feeding zones are not permanent. They shift with seasons, temperature, and weather patterns. Whales do not expect them to remain fixed. They adjust slowly as conditions change. Upwelling areas, where deep water moves upward, are especially important. They bring nutrients closer to the surface, supporting plankton and small fish. Whales sense these changes through water movement and temperature. Rather than diving deeply in such areas, whales often feed at moderate depths. Food is closer, and effort remains low. Feeding becomes steady rather than intense. Currents also shape the timing of feeding. When flow strengthens, food gathers more efficiently. When it weakens, whales may move on or rely on stored energy. This flexibility prevents overuse of any single area. It also reduces competition. Whales do not claim feeding zones. They share space by spreading out, guided by sound and awareness. Presence is coordinated without direct interaction. Sound plays a subtle role here. Changes in background noise and echo patterns signal shifts in water movement. Whales listen and adjust position without urgency. Feeding within currents does not disrupt calm behavior. Movement remains smooth. Breathing remains coordinated. Young whales learn about feeding zones by following experienced individuals. They feel changes in water temperature and current strength. Over time, these sensations become familiar markers. Memory connects currents and location. A place is remembered not by sight, but by how water moves and feels. This memory guides future visits. Seasonal cycles reinforce this learning. As years pass, whales encounter similar patterns repeatedly. Confidence builds without effort. Currents also influence how long whales remain in one area. When flow is stable, whales may stay longer. When it changes, departure happens gradually. There is no urgency to leave or stay. Movement responds to balance rather than scarcity. Feeding zones created by currents support quiet abundance rather than competition. They allow whales to feed efficiently while maintaining space and calm. This relationship reflects a deeper alignment with the ocean. Whales do not control where food appears. They recognize when conditions are right. By following currents and the abundance they create, whales maintain energy without strain. Feeding becomes another part of the ocean's rhythm. The flow of water, the movement of life, and the presence of whales align gently, supporting stability across time and distance. The ocean changes slowly, but it never remains the same. Temperatures shift, currents adjust, and seasons arrive earlier or later than before. Whales live within this gradual change and respond in ways that reflect patience rather than resistance. Change does not appear to whales as a sudden event. It unfolds over time. Small differences in water temperature, sound patterns, or food availability accumulate gently. Whales notice these changes without urgency. When conditions begin to shift, whales adjust movement first. Migration timing may change slightly. Routes may curve gently toward more stable water. These adjustments are small, but they matter. Whales do not abandon familiar areas immediately. They remain as long as balance can be maintained. Only when conditions move beyond comfort do they begin to shift away. Sound provides early signals of change. As ocean conditions alter, background sound changes subtly. Whales listen to these shifts and incorporate them into awareness. Food availability also reflects change. When feeding zones weaken or move, whales rely more on stored energy. They do not chase food aggressively. They wait and observe. Over time, if patterns do not return, whales adapt their routes. This adaptation is gradual and learned across years rather than seasons. Memory plays a key role. Older whales carry experience from past changes. They have lived through variations before. This experience supports calm decision-making. Younger whales learn these adjustments by following. They observe how routes and timing shift without disruption. Change becomes part of learning rather than a threat. Whales do not attempt to control their environment. They respond to it. This response favors flexibility over force. Rest and movement adjust together. In warmer water, rest may increase slightly. In colder conditions, movement may shift to maintain comfort. These changes happen quietly. Whales also adjust depth in response to temperature layers. By moving slightly deeper or shallower, they find comfort without long travel. This vertical adjustment reduces effort. The ocean remains vast, even as conditions change. Whales continue to use space to spread out and reduce pressure. Crowding is avoided. Change does not remove calm from whale life. It reshapes patterns slowly. Whales follow these reshaped patterns without struggle. This ability to adapt reflects long evolutionary experience. Whales are not dependent on fixed conditions. They are dependent on balance. Balance can be found in many forms. Even as the ocean changes, whales continue to breathe, move, listen, and rest in steady rhythms. Life does not pause. It adjusts. Understanding how whales respond to change shows that resilience does not always involve resistance. Sometimes it involves patience. Whales remain present within a changing ocean, guided by awareness rather than urgency. Whales do not exist separately from the ocean. They are part of a larger balance that includes water movement, temperature, sound, and living systems. Their presence influences the ocean quietly, without force or disruption. As whales move through water, they connect surface and depth. Their dives carry nutrients upward when they return to shallower layers. This movement supports small life forms that depend on these nutrients. Whales do not intend to change their environment. The effect happens naturally, as part of daily movement. Nothing extra is required. Feeding also plays a role in this balance. When whales feed, they concentrate nutrients in certain areas. Waste released back into the water supports microscopic life. This life forms the base of ocean food systems. These processes unfold slowly. They are not visible in single moments. Their impact becomes clear only over long periods of time. Whales help maintain balance simply by living as they do. Their migration connects distant regions of the ocean. Energy and nutrients move with them across large distances. This connection supports stability between feeding grounds and calmer regions. The ocean responds gently. Life adjusts around these movements without conflict. Sound produced by whales also becomes part of the environment. Low-frequency calls blend into the background of the ocean. They do not dominate. They add texture. Other ocean life adapts to these sounds over time. The soundscape remains balanced rather than crowded. Whales do not take more than they need. Their feeding patterns allow recovery. They move on when balance shifts. This restraint supports long-term stability. It prevents exhaustion of resources. Whales also influence the ocean by their absence. When whales are fewer in number, certain processes slow. Balance shifts gradually. This change does not appear immediately. It becomes visible only over years or decades. Understanding this balance helps explain why whales matter without needing drama. Their role is quiet and consistent. They do not regulate the ocean through action. They regulate it through presence. The ocean has many balancing forces. Whales are one of them. This balance does not rely on constant perfection. It allows variation. It absorbs change. Whales continue to move, feed, rest, and migrate without awareness of their broader impact. They do not manage the ocean. They belong to it. Their steady life supports systems that are larger than any single species. This quiet balance reflects a deeper truth of ocean life. Stability often comes from consistency rather than control. Whales remain part of this system by following their rhythms, not by shaping outcomes. How whales communicate without words. Communication among whales does not rely on constant sound or visible signals. Much of it happens quietly, through timing, presence, and subtle adjustment. Words are not needed to share awareness. Sound remains important, but whales do not speak continuously. They use sound carefully, choosing moments when communication is useful. Between these moments, silence carries meaning of its own. A whale may adjust speed slightly when another slows. It may change depth to remain aligned. These movements communicate attention without calling. Physical spacing also carries information. Whales maintain comfortable distance from one another. Distance signals respect and awareness rather than separation. When whales travel together, alignment matters more than closeness. Moving in the same direction at the same pace communicates unity. There is no need for repeated signals. Sound becomes more important when distance increases. A single low call can maintain connection across space. The response does not need to be immediate. Timing itself communicates intention. When a whale surfaces, dives, or rests in rhythm with others, coordination emerges naturally. No instruction is required. Calves learn this style of communication early. They watch how adults adjust movement and sound. Meaning is absorbed through observation. Whales also communicate through consistency. Repeating the same patterns over time builds familiarity. Others learn what to expect. This predictability reduces stress. Uncertainty is low when behavior is steady. Touch is rare but meaningful. When it occurs, it is gentle and brief. Physical contact does not dominate interaction. Most communication remains indirect. Whales do not interrupt one another. They adjust around each other. This approach supports calm group behavior. There is no competition for attention. Awareness is shared. Communication also changes with context. During feeding, sound may decrease. During migration, occasional calls maintain alignment. Rest brings another shift. Movement slows. Sound fades. Even then, connection remains. Whales do not attempt to explain themselves. They do not clarify intention repeatedly. They trust shared rhythm. This trust allows communication to remain minimal and efficient. Energy is conserved. Attention remains open. The ocean does not favor constant signaling. It favors signals that travel far and last long. Whales fit this environment by communicating less, but more meaningfully. Their communication style reflects patience. It does not demand response. It invites awareness. Through sound, movement, timing, and space, whales remain connected without urgency, sharing information in ways that feel natural within a vast and quiet world. Certain moments in a whale's life call for slightly closer communication. Care, guidance, and shared travel require awareness that remains calm but attentive. Between a mother and calf, communication is steady and gentle. The mother adjusts speed and depth, and the calf responds by following. Sound is used sparingly, often as reassurance rather than instruction. A soft call may guide position. Silence then returns. The calf learns that communication does not need to be constant to be reliable. During early life, timing becomes the primary signal. Surfacing together, diving together, and resting together create understanding. Rhythm replaces explanation. As calves grow, this rhythm remains, even as distance increases slightly. Communication shifts from guidance to alignment. The bond continues through shared pace rather than close contact. During migration, communication takes another form. Whales traveling together do not speak continuously. They maintain awareness through occasional low calls that travel far. These calls do not announce urgency. They simply confirm presence. One call can maintain connection across long distances. Movement becomes part of communication. When one whale adjusts direction or speed, others follow gradually. No signal is required. This slow adjustment prevents sudden changes that could disrupt balance. Travel remains smooth. In groups, communication helps maintain spacing. Whales spread out to reduce effort and noise. Each individual remains aware of others without crowding. During feeding, communication often decreases. Focus shifts inward, toward movement and sensing food. Silence becomes useful. After feeding, sound may return briefly, re-establishing awareness before movement continues. Care during rest is also quiet. Whales resting near one another remain aware through sound and water movement. There is no need for direct contact. If conditions change, communication adjusts. A shift in current or sound may prompt a gentle call. Others respond by listening rather than reacting. This style of communication avoids confusion. Signals are clear because they are rare. Young whales learn this balance by observing adults. They learn when sound is needed and when silence is enough. Over time, communication becomes less about sending messages and more about sharing presence. Awareness replaces instruction. This approach suits an environment where sound travels far and time moves slowly. Urgency would waste energy. Whales communicate to remain aligned, not to control. They guide without force. Through care and travel, communication remains steady, minimal, and effective, supporting calm movement and quiet connection across vast distances. Whales and human presence. For most of their history, whales lived in an ocean shaped only by natural forces. Movement, sound, and change followed slow rhythms. In recent times, another presence has entered this space. Human activity does not appear to whales as a single event. It arrives gradually through sound, movement, and altered patterns in the water. Whales notice these changes quietly, without immediate reaction. One of the most noticeable changes is sound. Engines, ships, and distant activity add new layers to the ocean's background. These sounds do not always feel loud, but they change familiar patterns. Whales listen and adjust. They may shift depth slightly. They may change timing. Sometimes they pause communication and return to silence. These adjustments are measured. There is no sudden escape or panic. Whales respond by creating distance rather than confrontation. Movement patterns may also change. Busy areas of the ocean feel different. Whales may choose routes that are longer but quieter. Energy is spent to preserve calm. Encounters with vessels are usually brief. Whales do not approach quickly. They maintain space and adjust direction gradually. When whales surface near boats, breathing remains controlled. There is no rush to dive. They continue following internal rhythm. Feeding behavior may shift subtly. If sound or movement disrupts a feeding zone, whales may wait or move away. They do not force feeding in uncomfortable conditions. Over time, whales learn which areas feel stable and which feel unpredictable. Memory plays a role here. Experience guides future movement. Some whales pass through human-influenced areas without visible change. Others avoid them when possible. Response varies by individual and situation. Whales do not categorize humans as threat or safety. They respond to patterns. Noise, movement, and unpredictability matter more than presence itself. This ability to adjust reflects flexibility. Whales are not rigid in behavior. They incorporate new information gradually. Rest is also affected. In quieter areas, whales rest more deeply. In busier regions, rest may be shorter and more frequent. These changes do not stop life. They reshape it gently. Young whales learn these adjustments by following experienced individuals. They observe which areas feel calm and which require distance. Learning happens through shared movement. Whales do not communicate concern loudly. They adapt silently. This response style prevents stress from dominating behavior. Energy is conserved. Awareness remains broad. Human presence becomes another variable in the ocean, not a central focus. Whales do not center their lives around it. They continue breathing, moving, listening, and resting. Understanding this interaction helps remove drama from the picture. Whales are not constantly reacting. They are constantly adjusting. Their calm response highlights a strength built on patience rather than force. They do not confront change. They accommodate it. Over longer periods of time, whales do not react to human presence as a single disturbance. They experience it as part of a changing background, something that slowly becomes familiar in certain regions. Coexistence develops through repeated exposure. When patterns remain consistent, whales learn what to expect. Predictability matters more than intensity. If sound follows a steady rhythm, whales adjust timing rather than abandoning an area. They may surface at slightly different moments, or rest at deeper levels. These adjustments are small, but they reduce discomfort. When patterns are irregular, whales create more distance. They do not investigate unpredictability. They wait or move away until conditions settle. This response protects calm behavior. Whales do not attempt to understand the source of change. They respond to how it feels. Over years, some migration routes shift gently. Not because whales are forced, but because balance is easier elsewhere. New paths form slowly, guided by comfort rather than urgency. Feeding strategies also adjust over time. If certain areas become less stable, whales rely more on stored energy or feed in alternative locations. They do not compete or rush. Resting patterns show similar flexibility. Quiet regions support longer rest. Busy regions encourage shorter, lighter rest phases. These changes do not weaken whales. They demonstrate resilience. Young whales grow up observing these adjustments. They learn which areas feel calm and which require space. This learning becomes part of shared experience. Coexistence does not mean acceptance or resistance. It means adaptation without confrontation. Whales do not communicate distress loudly. They do not signal frustration. They simply alter movement and timing. This approach preserves energy and mental balance. Stress does not accumulate quickly. Over time, whales integrate human presence into their broader awareness of the ocean. It becomes one more factor among many, alongside currents, temperature, and sound. Life continues in steady rhythms. This quiet adjustment reflects a deep evolutionary trait. Whales are shaped to survive change that arrives slowly. They are not built for sudden reaction. Coexistence, for whales, is not about negotiation. It is about maintaining internal balance within external variation. By moving gently, listening carefully, and conserving energy, whales continue their lives without losing calm, even as the ocean around them becomes more complex. Time moves differently in the ocean. There are no clocks, no fixed schedules, and no clear markers that divide moments sharply. For whales, time is experienced through rhythm rather than measurement. A whale does not think in hours or days. Time is felt through breathing cycles, movement patterns, and seasonal change. One moment flows into the next without urgency. Breathing creates the smallest unit of time. Each surfacing marks a pause. Between breaths, movement continues, awareness remains open, and the body glides forward. These pauses are not interruptions. They are part of continuity. Longer spans of time are shaped by repetition. Migration routes repeat across years. Feeding seasons return. Resting patterns reappear. This repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity reduces effort. The future feels predictable enough to remain calm. Whales do not rush toward events. They arrive when conditions align. If alignment takes longer, they wait. Waiting does not feel empty. It feels neutral. Growth unfolds slowly. Years pass before full maturity. Learning is layered gently over time rather than compressed. Memory connects past and present. A route followed years ago still feels known. A sound heard before still carries meaning. This long memory stretches time outward. Life does not feel short or urgent. There is space to adjust. Aging does not interrupt rhythm. Movement may slow slightly, but timing remains steady. Older whales do not fall behind time. They remain within it. Even change fits into this sense of time. Environmental shifts are noticed slowly. Response is delayed until patterns become clear. There is no pressure to react immediately. Time also shapes relationships. Bonds form over years, not moments. Recognition persists even after long absence. Connection does not fade quickly. Whales experience time as something wide rather than narrow. Moments are not isolated. They are connected. This wide sense of time supports calm behavior. Urgency would break rhythm. Patience preserves it. In the ocean, where distances are vast and change is gradual, this way of experiencing time is practical. It allows stability without control. Whales do not try to manage time. They move within it. This movement through time, rather than against it, allows life to remain steady even as conditions shift. Understanding whales through time reveals why they appear unhurried. They are not slow. They are aligned. Time flows, and whales flow with it, maintaining balance through continuity rather than speed. Silence in the ocean is not an absence of sound. It is a gentle background where only soft movements and distant vibrations remain. For whales, this quiet is familiar and supportive. Whales do not fill their environment with constant noise. They allow silence to exist between sounds. This space makes listening easier and awareness broader. Silence helps whales notice subtle changes. A distant current shifting. A faint sound moving through deep water. A presence passing nearby. These signals arrive slowly. There is time to understand them without reacting. Rest often happens in silence. Movement slows. breathing remains steady. Sound fades naturally. During these moments, whales are not disconnected. They remain aware, simply without expression. Silence becomes a form of attention. Communication benefits from quiet as well. When sound is rare, it carries more meaning. A single call stands out clearly against stillness. Whales do not interrupt silence unnecessarily. They respect it. Silence also supports energy conservation. Producing sound requires effort. Remaining quiet allows resources to be saved for movement, breathing, and rest. Young whales learn silence by example. They follow adults who do not rush to communicate. They learn that listening matters as much as signaling. Silence travels farther than sound in some ways. It allows the body to sense water movement and pressure without distraction. Information arrives through multiple channels. Even during migration, long periods may pass without vocalization. Connection remains through shared direction and timing. Sound becomes optional. Silence does not isolate whales from one another. It creates space. In feeding areas, silence allows focus. Movement becomes precise. Awareness narrows gently without tension. The ocean itself offers constant quiet patterns. Low waves, distant currents, slow changes. Whales align with these patterns by reducing noise. They become part of the background rather than standing apart from it. Silence also shapes time. Moments stretch. There is no rush to fill space with activity. This quiet presence supports calm behavior across all stages of life. From calf to adult, silence remains familiar. Whales do not fear silence. They rely on it. Understanding this relationship helps explain why whales appear peaceful. They are comfortable without constant input. Silence becomes a foundation rather than a gap. Within this quiet, whales continue to breathe, move, and exist without urgency, supported by stillness that holds the ocean together. Below the surface of the ocean lies a vast space where light fades and pressure increases slowly. For whales, the deep ocean is not an extreme place. It is a familiar part of their environment. Depth does not arrive suddenly. As a whale descends, light softens, sound changes, and water grows cooler. These transitions happen gradually, allowing the body and senses to adjust without strain. In deeper water, vision becomes less useful. Awareness shifts towards sound, pressure, and movement. Whales do not search the darkness. They move through it calmly. Pressure increases with depth, but whales are adapted to it. Their bodies compress gently. Air spaces reduce safely. Nothing resists the change. Movement in the deep ocean is slower. Whales glide more and use fewer tail strokes. Energy is conserved, and oxygen use remains low. Sound behaves differently at depth. It travels farther and bends gently along layers of water. Whales listen to these changes, gaining information about space without seeing it. The deep ocean is quiet. Surface noise fades. Only distant vibrations remain. This quiet supports focus. Whales are not overwhelmed by sensory input. They remain aware without tension. Some whales visit great depths to feed. Others pass through deep layers during travel or rest. In all cases, depth is approached without urgency. The body remains relaxed. Breathing is managed through stored oxygen. The heart beats slowly. Depth does not demand constant movement. Often, whales remain nearly still, suspended by buoyancy and balance. This stillness reduces effort. The deep ocean also shapes time perception. Without light changes, moments blend together. Movement and breathing become the primary markers of time. Young whales experience depth gradually. They follow adults into deeper water over time. Confidence builds through exposure rather than challenge. The deep ocean is not treated as separate from the surface. It is part of a continuous vertical space. Whales move up and down as naturally as forward. This vertical freedom allows whales to avoid surface disturbance and find calm. Depth becomes a refuge rather than a risk. Even at great depths, whales do not hurry. They know how long they can remain and when to return. The deep ocean does not test whales. It supports them. By moving calmly into darkness and pressure, whales show that comfort does not depend on light or familiarity. It depends on alignment with the body and environment. Depth becomes another quiet dimension of life, held within steady rhythm and awareness. Some whales regularly move far below the surface, into regions where light no longer reaches. These depths are not visited by accident. They are chosen calmly, guided by experience and purpose. Whales that travel to great depths do not rush downward. Their descent is slow and controlled. Each movement is measured, allowing the body to adjust gradually to pressure and darkness. At these depths, the environment feels stable. Water temperature changes very little. Currents are gentle. Sound becomes clearer and more consistent. For whales, this stability is calming. Feeding often motivates deep dives. Certain prey live far below the surface, moving slowly through dark water. Whales follow them without pursuit or force. Movement remains efficient. A few tail strokes are followed by long glides. The body sinks naturally as buoyancy decreases. At depth, whales rely almost entirely on stored oxygen. Breathing is no longer part of awareness. Attention shifts fully to movement and sensing. The heart slows further. Muscles work minimally. Energy use reaches its lowest level. This state is not stressful. It is familiar and well practiced. Sound becomes the primary guide. Clicks and echoes reveal distance and shape without requiring vision. Silence between sounds remains important. Whales do not explore every direction. They move with purpose, following remembered patterns and sensory cues. The deep ocean does not feel empty to them. Time stretches at depth. Without light or surface movement, moments feel continuous. There is no signal urging return. When it is time to ascend, the change begins gently. Whales do not rush upward. They rise slowly, allowing pressure to release safely. The ascent mirrors the descent. It is smooth and controlled. Breathing resumes only when the surface is reached. After deep dives, whales often rest. Movement slows. Awareness remains calm. Young whales learn about deep diving gradually. They do not descend far at first. Depth is introduced slowly over years. Experience builds confidence. Limits become familiar. These deep diving whales show that darkness and pressure are not barriers. They are environments that can be understood and inhabited. Depth becomes another layer of home. By moving quietly into the deep ocean and returning without urgency, whales demonstrate a trust in their bodies and surroundings. The deepest water does not demand strength. It rewards patience. Different kinds of whales, different ways of living. Whales are often spoken of as a single group, but within this group exists a wide range of forms, behaviors, and ways of living. These differences are not dramatic or competitive. They reflect adaptation to different spaces within the same ocean. One of the most important differences among whales lies in how they feed. Some whales feed by filtering small organisms from water. Others hunt individual prey using sound and movement. Both approaches are calm, efficient, and suited to different environments. Filter feeding whales are usually larger and move slowly through dense feeding areas. They take in large amounts of water and allow food to separate naturally. Their feeding depends on abundance rather than pursuit. These whales often travel long distances between feeding and resting areas. Migration plays a strong role in their lives. Movement is steady and predictable. Other whales rely on precise sensing to locate prey. They may dive deeper and spend more time in darkness. Sound guides their feeding, revealing location and distance without sight. These whales often live in smaller groups or alone. Social structure remains flexible. Connection exists, but independence is common. Some whales remain in specific regions for most of their lives. Food availability and stable conditions allow them to stay close to one area. Migration is limited or unnecessary. Others move across entire oceans. They rely on memory and long-term patterns to guide travel. Distance does not create strain. Social behavior also varies. Some whales form strong, long-lasting family groups. Others interact less frequently, meeting only during certain periods. Neither approach is better. Each suits a different environment. Body size influences lifestyle. Larger whales rely on momentum and glide. Smaller whales adjust direction more easily and dive with greater flexibility. Sound use also differs. Some whales communicate using long, low sounds that travel far. Others rely on shorter, higher sounds for nearby awareness. These differences shape daily rhythm. Feeding times, rest patterns, and movement vary subtly between species. Yet the underlying calm remains consistent. Young whales learn the specific patterns of their kind. They observe feeding style, movement, and social spacing. Learning is specialized, not general. Despite these differences, all whales share core traits. They breathe air. They move efficiently. They rely on sound. They conserve energy. The ocean provides many niches. Whales fill them without conflict. Understanding these differences helps avoid oversimplification. There is no single way to be a whale. There are many. Each species represents a different solution to living in water. These solutions coexist quietly, shaped by environment rather than competition. Together, these varied lives form a complete picture of whale existence, diverse, balanced, and calm. Looking more closely at individual whale species helps make these differences feel grounded and real. Each species follows its own rhythm, shaped by environment rather than preference. Some large filter-feeding whales spend much of their time in open water. They move slowly through regions where food gathers in vast clouds. Their feeding depends on patience and timing, not pursuit. When conditions are right, they feed steadily. When conditions change, they move on. These whales often migrate long distances. Their journeys connect cold feeding areas with warmer, calmer regions. Travel remains smooth and unhurried, supported by stored energy. Other whales live closer to coastlines. Food is more predictable here, and movement covers shorter distances. These whales may remain within familiar regions for much of their lives. Coastal living encourages flexibility. Depth changes quickly. Currents shift near land. Whales adjust by using sound and pressure awareness rather than memory alone. Deep diving whales represent another way of living. They spend long periods below the surface, where light fades and pressure increases. Their feeding depends on locating individual prey rather than abundance. These whales rely heavily on sound to understand space. Movement remains controlled and efficient. They do not chase. They wait and glide. Social structure reflects these differences. Some whales remain in close family groups for many years. Others interact less often, meeting only during migration or feeding. Group living supports learning and memory sharing. Solitary living supports independence and quiet exploration. Both approaches remain stable within their environments. Body shape varies subtly across species. Some whales have broader heads suited to filtering. Others have narrower forms suited to deep dives and precise movement. These physical differences influence daily behavior. Resting depth, breathing rhythm, and movement style adjust accordingly. Sound use also varies. Some whales produce long, repeating patterns that travel far. Others rely on brief signals used only when needed. Young whales learn the specific sound patterns of their species. They become familiar with what belongs and what does not. Despite diversity, overlap exists. Many species share feeding areas without conflict. Spacing and timing reduce competition. The ocean is wide enough to support multiple solutions to the same challenge. Whales do not replace one another. They coexist. Each species carries knowledge shaped by its environment. This knowledge is passed quietly, through movement and sound rather than instruction. Understanding specific examples does not divide whales into categories. It reveals how adaptable life can be within shared constraints. Different ways of living emerge naturally when patience and efficiency guide behavior. Together, these varied lives demonstrate that calm existence does not require uniformity. It requires balance. Whales and the carbon cycle. The ocean plays a quiet role in regulating the planet's balance, and whales are part of this process in subtle ways. Their influence does not come from intention or effort. It comes from living, moving, and feeding as they always have. Carbon moves through the ocean slowly. It is absorbed, stored, released, and absorbed again over long periods of time. This cycle depends on countless small actions rather than single events. Whales contribute to this cycle through their daily movement. As they dive and return to the surface, they connect deep water with upper layers. Nutrients move upward with them, supporting microscopic life near the surface. This microscopic life, especially plankton, plays a central role in carbon balance. Plankton absorb carbon as they grow. They also produce oxygen quietly, without attention. When whales feed, they concentrate nutrients in certain areas. Waste released into the water provides nourishment for plankton. This nourishment supports growth without disruption. The process is slow. It does not change conditions overnight. Its impact becomes visible only over long periods. Whales also help move carbon deeper into the ocean. When they dive, carbon-rich material travels downward. Some of this material remains at depth for long spans of time. This deep storage reduces the amount of carbon near the surface. The change is gradual and steady. Migration extends this effect across large distances. As whales travel between regions, nutrients and carbon move with them. The ocean becomes connected rather than divided. These movements do not need coordination. Each whale follows its own rhythm. Together, the effect accumulates quietly. The carbon cycle does not rely on whales alone. It depends on many organisms and processes. Whales are one part of a much larger system. Their role is supportive rather than controlling. They do not regulate balance. They participate in it. When whales are present in stable numbers, these processes continue smoothly. When their presence changes, the cycle adjusts slowly. This adjustment does not cause sudden imbalance. It shifts the pace. Understanding this role does not require urgency or alarm. It reveals connection. Whales do not act to protect the ocean. They belong to it. Their steady lives support systems that operate on long time scales. Carbon moves, plankton grows, oxygen is released. None of this is visible in a single moment. This quiet contribution shows that large influence does not require loud action. It can emerge from consistency. Whales support the carbon cycle simply by being present, moving through water, and following ancient rhythms that align with the ocean itself. The ocean does not rush toward an ending. It continues, wide and open, holding movement without asking where it leads. Within this space, whales keep moving in the same steady way they always have. Somewhere below the surface, a whale glides through dark water. There is no destination that demands arrival. There is only motion, breath, and awareness unfolding slowly. The body moves without effort. The heart keeps a calm rhythm. Sound travels outward, then fades into distance. Time does not press forward here. It stretches gently, shaped by breathing and movement rather than minutes or hours. Nothing needs to be completed. Whales do not pause to reflect on where they have been. They do not hurry toward what comes next. They remain present, aligned with water, depth, and silence. The ocean carries memory without holding onto it tightly. Routes repeat. Seasons return. Change happens, but slowly enough to be absorbed. A whale rises for air. Breath is taken. Then the body settles back into water, supported from all sides. There is no tension in this movement. No resistance. Just continuation. Sound becomes quieter. Movement slows further. Awareness remains, even as activity softens. This is not an ending. It is a resting place within motion. The ocean does not close its story. It leaves space. Whales continue to exist within that space, breathing, listening, and moving without urgency. Nothing needs explanation anymore. For now, the water holds everything gently. If this quiet journey helped you feel calm, if you would like to return to this space again, you can support this channel by liking the video and subscribing. New calm stories will always be waiting here. Moving slowly, just like the ocean.